Hi, everybody. First of all, I want to wish you a very, very happy new year, 2020. And I'm here today doing this video because I want to launch my new way of working with the energies of the new year and the new decade. And as you can see behind me, I've got 2020 vision. So I want to start by saying that it was very interesting for me this morning when I was preparing my artwork that you can see behind me. It's actually my own photography, and then I've actually worked into it. But interestingly enough, when I loaded it onto Zoom as a virtual background, it was flipped the wrong way. And it started me thinking about how we can have a flipped reality or a flipped perspective on things that is not right. So let's start 2020 making sure that our perceptions are straight. And the reason I'm wearing my shades is because this is my metaphor for how we want to view the new decade. So whatever you're seeing through your shades, make sure that it's 2020 vision. So 2020 vision means that you see things realistically, you see things correctly, and they are in sharp focus. So if you have a flipped view on anything, make sure that right at the start of this year, you do some work to get your perspectives the right way round. So that was already a massive message to me. And I want to share two more things with you today in this video. So this morning, I received loads of lovely posts from around the world. And it was great to wake up and go through those lovely messages. But I also had a look at some of the posts that people are putting out on their timelines and on their business pages. And I went through a lot of posts, very inspirational things being shared. As always, at the beginning of the year, you know, we have this great energy, this great optimism and hope for the next year to be a better one than the one previously, for quite a lot of us. But two things stood out for me. Two things stood out. The first thing I want to share with you is that a friend of mine called Andrew Hobbs, who is a absolutely wonderful poet, shared his New Year poem on his timeline. And it's a wonderful lyrical poem, but one part of it stood out for me. And this is where he was talking about saying yes to less. So let's not say yes to less. By the start of this year, let's start the year right by not saying yes to less, not saying yes to less abundance, less love, less worthiness, less value, less ways of being treated well by other people, less ways of treating ourselves well. Let's say yes to more instead. So this is a very important message I want to share with you right now. Are you saying less to anything that you really want in your life? Those New Year resolutions that you're setting, are you saying less or are you saying more? And the third thing I want to share with you also comes from a post that was put up by a life coach who has qualified this past year, called Kathy Yaros. And she mentioned about January people. Now, this is a term I haven't actually come across before, but I think it's a great term. And what January people are, if you haven't heard it before, are those people who set an intention to do something at the beginning of January, and then by the end of January and into February, they have stopped doing it. So, you know, stopped eating clean, stopped going to exercises classes that they've begun at the beginning of the year, stopped the good habits that they intended and were passionate about on the 1st of January. Statistically, by the 26th of February, most people have given up on their New Year resolutions. That's the sad statistic. And I don't want you to be January people this year. So I'm going to be sharing with you tips, advice, and especially about energy, how you can work with your own energy to make sure that you do not end up a January person. So it's all about your viewpoint. So this is why I've gone with 2020 vision, because if you are looking through mucky shades and you've got a twisted view on things, then you're going to find it more difficult to stick to those good habits and good intentions that you've been so passionate about and are now you know, starting to implement into your life. So I wish you a very, very happy 2020, and let's step forward together with hope and optimism, but more than that, more than positivity, some real tools that are going to ensure that any change that you create actually sticks. So that's my commitment to you at the beginning of this year, and I will be sharing that commitment through tips and advice over the coming weeks with my videos. Coming from an energetic perspective, I am the Quantum Wizard. I do energy psychology and I work with the human energy field. So I will be looking to show you how you can use your own energy field to create those changes and make them stick. Okay, so wishing you a fantastic New Year's Day. And I will be back online with you very shortly. Take care.